Good morning, y'all. I know I'm in my car. The lighting is crazy, but please bear with me. I've been wanting to record this video for a while now, and I just haven't had time. I have a new job, and I work nights, and my goodness, y'all, it's hard. I'm definitely in prayer about that, because I'm trying to be obedient to what God's telling me to do, and I'm just trying to be clear, sometimes we're complaining about something burning you out, whatever, but I'm like, but did God even tell you to like do this thing or whatever? Like you crying for help with it, but it's like, did he even tell you to take this on? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. This clarification, because there's so many goals that I have, and without a 9 to 5 job, I just don't know how I'm gonna do it, especially as a single mother. And all that fun stuff. And so I'm just trying to figure all that out. But that's not the point of this video. So yeah, I wanted to come on and just speak to, and excuse my eyes, I never know where I'm looking, if I'm looking here or here, so please bear with me. But I wanted to speak, especially when it comes to YouTube and all these prophetic words and all these prophets all of a sudden coming out left and right and posting videos like 5-10 times a day about what God said, what God said, what God said. And these trying times, especially, I mean, life has always been like a little bit stressful. You want to have like a confirming word from somebody, but nowadays, since the pandemic, it's like even more that sometimes we're looking for somebody to kind of confirm what we're thinking, or just we feel so lost that we think we can't hear from God ourselves, or that he's not there, so that we lean into these people. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because prophets are, like prophetic gift is a gift, for God's people. But we have to be careful that not everybody who comes speaking these words are from God. Like Satan has people set up to do the same thing, to deceive you. And sometimes your heart is so desperate for a word that you'll just overlook some red flags, and you'll forget to like test the spirit, and and kind of pick up on, maybe something isn't right here. So, and that recently happened to me. I came across this ministry. I actually came across it before, and I didn't get into it because something was just off to me, but I wasn't sure. But it was like, if I didn't feel compelled to do it, I just didn't follow the ministry. But then I came across it again, and I knew something was like, I don't know, I knew something was off, but I don't know. From what I gathered, maybe I just wasn't in a good space, but I thought they were coming out of that space of like they were like, the person is anointed and they are gifted, but they're not using it for good. It's almost like they're tapping into like dark powers instead of like letting God use them. But like I said, when I came across the ministry again, and I guess maybe because she has her kids involved in it sometimes too, maybe it took my guard down. But I just got the impression from videos I saw that the person may have been in witchcraft at one point or another, or lost, and that they had found God and was letting God reform them and use them for good for his people. And there were like so many things I was going through that she was speaking to like directly, which is insane. So with that, like literally, like the last couple of months, I keep seeing 111 or 1111, and I came on YouTube one day, and she literally had a video speaking exactly to that, or like, so stuff like that kind of had me thinking like, okay, God, maybe But after a while, I don't know, it started getting weird, because it almost felt like every single thing I was going through, I would come on, and she would be speaking on it. And it got beyond like, okay, God, are you using her to speak to me, or it's something weird going on? I don't know. So this woman also advertises like a skincare line, like a beauty line that she has or whatever. So just out of curiosity, something that's told me, I don't know, cause I don't know. One day I was like, for a couple of days, I like weaned off her videos. I just wasn't sure. Like, I didn't want to get caught up in the fanatic of like whatever's going on in my life. Like, I come on and you're speaking on it, cause this, the devil knows our thoughts as well. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what I'm trying to hear. He hears my prayer when I'm asking God for confirmation of certain things. So I don't know. And this person is a major like figure on YouTube. So I'm not saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, just because they speak into certain things going on in your life, it doesn't mean that they were sent from God to like answer that question for you. So I'm just saying, be very discerning and test the spirit. So when I don't know, I just felt like something was off. So I decided to go to her website to kind of look into this. Excuse my hair, y'all, I'm tired. But look into this stuff that she's, like skincare line. And when I went to her website, it opened up stuff for like she had things for like spiritual baths, and like it was just things that pretty much was witchcraft, you know. It was like, but the crazy part was she doesn't speak that way in the videos. So the products on her website are clearly screaming witchcraft, or people might say it's white magic or whatever. Like the name of the products and everything makes it clear that she is a witch. But when she's on the videos 3, 4, 5 times a day, she doesn't use any of that language to insinuate that she would sell these kind of products. So once I saw that, I'm like, that's enough for me, because why are you, for the amount of time, like in the way that you post all day, every day, but then I go to your website and it's very blatant you're a witch, but then when you on a video, you don't say anything pertaining to what you're selling. You bringing that connection together. I'm like, that ain't even right. Then I came across our podcast, and she just had it pretty much confirmed what, like, when I initially came across her footage, that's what I saw. Like, I felt like she was a witch, but like I said, I ignored the ministry back then, and I came across it again, and I just got duped because I saw the kids, and I thought that she was somebody who was being reformed, that God was using her. Or maybe when I did find her, maybe she was going that route and she changed her mind. I don't know. But either way, unfortunately, I was very, very disappointed to realize that she was being very deceitful and what she was presenting in those videos multiple times a day, and what she had on her website is like two different things. Like, she's very mindful not use certain language or whatever, but then on her website it's very clear that she's a witch. To me, it was flabbergasting. So just be mindful of who you're receiving the word from. Just because they speak of something that's going on in your life, it don't mean that God sent them to speak to you. Be very discerning. Test the spirit. You know what I mean? Listen, read between the lines, and pray to God for confirmation that he wants you to be following this prophetic word. And I'm not saying that people don't have gifts and he's not speaking to his people or whatever. But I'm just saying, test the spirit. Don't be so reliant on someone else to answer the question for you that you don't rely on God anymore, because God can speak to you too. That's why Jesus came and died on the cross for us and gave us direct access to God, to speak to him and to ask him for answers and, to our questions, etc. So don't get so caught up all the time in somebody's gifts that you bypass that something is not right there, and you think you're in a ministry serving God, and all of a sudden you're in a coven and you had no idea. And I literally had to repent and ask God to forgive me, and I had to like renounce my connection to that ministry, because I don't know how I was so blind, because I was so caught up and she was speaking to things that was happening in my life that I didn't even see that she was a whole witch. Like, once again, I thought she was when I first came across it, and I thought she was reformed and she was letting God use her, but I was completely wrong about that. So once again, I know on YouTube, every other video you're going to find, like, some kind of prophetic word situation or whatever, and not saying everybody's false. It's not true. But what I'm saying is, test the spirit. Everything is not all about gumdrops and lollipops. You're going to get married. You're going to get money. You're going to do whatever. Listen, because that's not how God works. Like, he's calling us to serve. He's calling us to sacrifice. And he's calling us to be wise. Just be careful to not get caught up in prosperity, prophetic words, that you just drown in that ministry and you don't even learn. You're not growing spiritually. You're not even depending on God speaking to you directly anymore, because you're so caught up in this person telling you what God is saying on this day. Just be very, very careful. Like, the way I was deceived, I'm very discerning, and my struggle is, sometimes I feel guilty. Like, I feel like I'm being too rough with people, or like too short with how quickly I can cut somebody off, that I have the bad habit of staying longer than I need to, because and it's because like I grew up like the black sheep in my family, whatever. So I know what it's like to be ignored and cut off unjustifiably, etc. So it's like I always strive to not be that person to somebody else. But I'm also learning that I have to trust my discernment and trust what God is telling me. Trust my gift of when he's telling me something's not right here. And I don't always need him to give me the direct thing to show me outright that a person is a witch for me to be like, okay, God, I get it. Sometimes you just know something is off, and just trust that and don't mess with it anymore. No matter how much you want to, I'll give them a chance. If you feel like something's not right there, or if you're not sure that you're even right about what you're feeling, go to God, pray for confirmation, and I promise you he will give it to you. Because that's like a big mistake I've made. I've wasted a lot of time investing in people and I've ignored red flags, things they've done. I let it pat, and then you start seeing that pattern, and at some point you can't blame the person anymore for what they're doing to you, because you're allowing them to do it to you. So you have to take accountability for that as well. But that's all. Like, my words all over. I'm so tired. I worked last night, so I'm about to go sleep like an hour before I have to get my youngest daughter from school. But I just want to jump on here and just, I pray that this finds whoever is meant to find. And should just be mindful and discerning and pray to God, because he will tell you the truth. If you feel something is off and you're not sure, he will tell you the truth, and he will lead you to what you need to see, to be able to get the answer that you're looking for. And I'm not saying every person who comes on here daily with a word from God or a Bible study that they're witches or they're lying. I'm not saying that. God can use his people for that. He does use people for that, but not everybody who comes in the name of God is actually doing God's work, and that's biblical. Okay, so we know how that works. But that's all I have to say, y'all. Be blessed. Love you. Bye.